Hello and welcome back to another how-to Django tutorial. My name's Tom with MasterCode Online. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our tutorials. In today's tutorial, we're going to continue building our anti-spam map. I'm going to take you guys down the road of what most instructors or guys that provide tutorials don't show you, and that is how we go back and modify things to make them better. I believe a lot of these guys just plan it out really well and don't show you how to modify a lot of your code as you're going through and building things, because in reality, when you're building stuff, you come up with better ideas, or you see there's something that could work a lot better in a different situation, so you got to go back and change things. So that's what we're going to do in today's tutorial. First thing we're going to do is go into the models of the contact form, and we're going to add IP address field to that so we can record the IP address in the database so we can track that. Another thing we're going to do is create two new functions, or modify a function and create a new function, the utils.py file in our Spaminator app that will allow us to get the IP address, and also create another function that will check the IP address, or we checked the IP address already. We're going to get the IP address. You'll see what I mean in a second here. So let's go ahead and open up our models.py for our contact form. We're going to go ahead and add a new field in here. It's going to be we'll call it IP underscore address. Address, and it's equal to models dot. Man, I can't type today. Models dot generic IP address field, and we're going to go ahead and say null is equal to true. And the reason I'm doing this is because you probably already have contact objects in your database, and basically if we don't do this when we go to migrate, it's going to say, hey, can you set a default, or do you want to go back and add IP addresses for each one of these? We don't have those users' IP addresses or their sender IP addresses, so no, we can't do that. So we're going to set null is equal to true, but from this point on, every time someone sends a contact form, we're going to get that IP address, so it doesn't matter. All right, so let's go ahead and migrate now. So we'll go ahead and do python manage.py, make migrations, and then we'll do python manage.py migrate, like that. Cool, no issues, golden. All right, next thing we're going to do is go modify our utils.py file. All right, so right now we have IP check right here like this. What I'm going to do is take this and cut it out. All right, so why I'm doing this is because there might be other areas in your app that you might want to just check if the user's IP exists. Mine is like pulling the data and then checking. Also, we're going to be recording the user's IP address on the contact form, so we should have a separate function to record it, and then a separate function to check it, because your function should only do one thing. It should do one thing well. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new function in here, and that function is going to be define get underscore IP, and that's going to take an argument of request. And then we're going to go ahead and do I copied it, so I'm going to paste it in there, and then we're going to go ahead and return IP. All right, so it takes an argument of request, and we're going to return IP. Now, if you go open up your views, make sure you apply PEP 8 here, we're good to go. All right, so we're going to go into our contact views. All right, and now we're going to record the sender's IP address. So right here, we're going to do instance dot IP underscore address is equal to, and then we're going to say, first we got to import it, get underscore IP, then we're going to say get underscore IP, and then we're going to pass in the argument of request. All right, and then everything else stays the same. All right, this is actually going to change. This should be instance dot IP underscore address. All right, so we're getting a request, we're getting the IP. So if we go back to our utils file, this is going to do the same thing we did in the previous tutorial, where we get the HTTPX forwarded for IP address or the remote adder. Then we're going to come in here and we'll get that and we'll save it to the IP address field in the form. All right. And then we'll do, we're going to use our check to check the email. We're going to check the IP address, and we're passing the IP address from here into here. And then we'll also do our word check. All right. So let's get and test the logic to make sure this all works out fine. So we'll run our server, Python manage.py run server. All right. We'll go up here and we're going to go to we'll do contact first. So what we're looking to check here is to make sure the IP address is recorded. Actually, let's open up admin first and make sure that the IP address is not a blocked IP address. Blocked IP is none. All right, cool. So we'll just go to control, or contact, I should say. Contact. And then we'll do Tom Myers at tom@mastercode.online, and we'll say hello and send. You're considered a spammer. That shouldn't happen. My email address is probably in there, so let's just run this one more time with a different. We support. I'll do tests this time. Send. Received your message. Okay, that's a good thing. So now we'll go into admin and we want to check that we recorded the IP address to the database. It's blocked IPs. That's not what I wanted. Contacts will be this one. And notice we recorded the IP address. Sweet. All right. So in the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how we can easily record or add all this to a database via a simulated custom backend, because we're not going to build a whole custom backend for this app. I'll show you just a simulated version of what we would do in a future tutorial. I'll show you how to build a whole custom backend. But you guys will see how we could easily add the block an email address, block an IP address, and also add words by just clicking some buttons. All right, so I'll see you in the next tutorial.